Okay, let's go to the next movie. The Rental. I'm not exactly sure, well, at least I can't remember what year that movie came out, but if I'm correct, it did not come out in 2024. I think it may have came out anywhere from 21 to 23, maybe 22, but obviously I seen it this year for the first time. I liked it. It was good. Okay, hold on. Let me try to remember the plot really quick. Let me say this. Oh my God, yes. Okay, Hitman. Not Hitman. I'm sorry. The Rental. Now, this movie was the directorial debut for Dave Franco. So it was interesting to see just how everything played out and the shots that were taken. About 5 minutes in, no less, I already knew them people was fucking. I knew it was some infidelity going on. That's all I'm gonna say about the plot. I'm not gonna spoil it any further. Oh my God, that movie ended crazy. That movie ended crazy as fuck. And all I'm gonna say, because like I said, I don't want to spoil it. But no, if I say that's gonna be a spoiler. Okay, let me say this. I love happy endings. I also love when they don't do happy endings. I also love cliffhangers. So do with that information what you will. The rating for that movie. Let me just say, that was a really good directorial debut. What I would give that movie is, because I didn't like a certain part of it, but I could respect it. In the end, I'm gonna settle for 7.8, 7.7. Yeah, I think that's fair. I love that. That was a good movie, and I like the cast. It has Jeremy Allen White in it, and if you know, he is like the main male lead for the show on FX called The Bear, and I like that show. I try not to be biased. This was him before the notoriety that The Bear came with. So, okay, the next movie up is called Alone. This is on Netflix. This is a Netflix original. A lot of these are actually not a lot of these, but a handful of these that I've rated so far, and then that are still like upcoming on the list. A handful of these are Netflix originals. Some Netflix be hit or miss, but we got some hits. So this movie Alone, I like her. It's starring a female protagonist and a male antagonist. I didn't know anything about the movie going in. All I seen was the poster. And like, you know, when you hover over a title on Netflix, it just plays by itself. I see probably like 5-10 seconds of that. And so I was like, okay, let me play it. Plus, I didn't have anything else to do at that current point in time. Like, I was looking for something to watch, like actively looking for something to watch that was in like the thriller category. So I like that a lot. It was to the point where I was like, you know how black people are in film, like watch movies. They be like, oh, don't do this, girl, you better do that. I like her. It was on and working, and I like that because, like I already said, I have a short fuse for incompetent, stupid bitches and annoying bitches, all that, whatever. The niggas too, whatever. A lot of these bitches be dumb. I did take a couple of points off for and I think that's just me being biased because like I took a couple points off stuff because it was like, okay, well, if I put myself in her shoes, I wouldn't do this or I wouldn't do that. That's why I took points off. Am I being fair? Probably not. But the rating is what the rating is. And essentially, at the conclusion of that film, she did good. She did really good. I hope y'all watch that movie if you haven't already. It's well worth it. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. My ending rating for that movie, I give it an 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. Okay, the next film we have is this is also a Netflix original. It's Bakihama versus King and Ashura, or King and Ashura. Let me just give a little context. I watch Baki and I watch Bakihama, both of those Netflix originals. And then I've read Baki the Grappler, the actual manga to a certain extent. And then also I've watched King and Ashura start to finish. And it just recently finished too, so I was very familiar with all of the characters from both shows before I watched this film. So, having all this prior knowledge, okay, like picture this, starting off at 10. I took points off for the pacing. I took points off for all that dialogue. And I took points off for the conclusion. So, in the end, that film got a, because I did not like the pacing at all. Y'all, I did not like the pacing. And the dialogue added it to the pacing for me. And that conclusion blew me. In the end, that movie got like 6.3. And all I'm going to say is, Baki carried. Okay, this movie, I watched this, I think I watched this late last month. But it was one of the movies that was still kind of fresh on my mind when I was making this list, because I don't even know why it really meant. I mean, like, I know why, because I like the movie, but yeah, it just like popped in my brain. So I was like, let me add this to the list. This is before I got to 25, so I was like, yeah, this is cool. Okay, the name of this movie is No One Gets Out Alive. I like that movie. I'm not sure when the movie came out, but I know for a fact it did not come out this year. So it's a horror film, go figure, and it has a female protagonist who is she's like a foreigner, so she like immigrated illegally, excuse me, and I don't want to give the plot away, but I enjoyed it. Men are the problem. I will not give any further explanation. In the end, that movie got like 8.1, 8.2 out of me. It was good horror film. The next movie, The Inheritance. Now, I watched this movie probably like 2 months ago, but it also just popped in my brain when I was making this list. So naturally, it got added to the list. The Inheritance. I'm not sure when it came out, but it came out in recent years. It hasn't been like too long since it's come out, but I just saw the poster. I was like, okay, this looks interesting enough, so I went and watched it. 10 minutes in, I was like, yeah, I can get jiggy with this. I see where this is going. This is cool. This is okay. 30 to 45 minutes in, I was like, this is not what I thought it was. I'm like, what the fuck? Let me just say this, because I don't want to give away the plot and I don't want to spoil it. I keep saying it. It be your own people. Oh my God. It be your own people. Okay. So yeah, in the end, that film for me, that movie got like a 7.5 for me. So the next movie up is Hellboy. Now, a little context, I am a fan of Ron Perlman's Hellboy. Both films that came out. Imagine my surprise when I am scrolling to Netflix and I see that Netflix has its own version of Hellboy. I love Hellboy. I'm biased. I love Ron Perlman, so I wasn't expecting Ron Perlman to be in that one, obviously, but I like that version. Netflix, y'all ate. Y'all ate that one thing. I liked it. It was good. I like the plot. I like the characters. I like the storyline. I think the storyline is plot, same thing, whatever. But I liked it. So in the end, that movie got like a 7. I got a 7. I liked it. I liked it. I would recommend it. This next movie, I think this is also a Netflix original. It's called Badland Hunters. So Badland Hunters. I went into this film not knowing anything about it, did not read the synopsis. I saw the poster and I saw the one familiar face. He was in Train to Busan, but Badland Hunters, it was good. It was really good. It wasn't like pleasant surprise, because like anything that guy's in is worth the watch. Like, he can carry. I really liked the plot for that movie. Like, it was good. It was really good, and I love the graphics. Yeah, that was a good movie. Off the rip, I get that like 7.8, 7.9, maybe even an 8 on a good day. You know, but yeah, anywhere from that range, anywhere 7.7 to 8. I like that. That was a good movie. Ooh, this is a good one. This is also a Netflix original. This one is called The Conference. Ooh, this is called The Conference. So, let me say this real quick. This is one of their international movies. So, I forget what the nation was, because at first I thought it was, I think it's Polish. Because I watched it in English, but at The Conference, it was a slasher, so I liked it a lot. I had never seen a slasher like that. The closest that I can say that I've gotten to a slasher like that particular film would be the Belko Experiment, and the Belko was actually like that movie in a sense, but it was like larger scale. The graphics were good, the plot was good, the plot was indeed plotting. Yeah, that was a good slasher. That would be top 3 slasher. Oh my god, that was a true slasher. That was really good. I love that. And the right people got what they deserved. Shit, we even had a handful of motherfuckers who made it out alive. So I was fucking with that. That movie, ooh, y'all, it's so hard not to be biased. I would give that movie an 8 out of 10. I'm not fucking around. 8 out of 10. It's called The Conference. It's on Netflix. If you have not seen that movie, watch the movie. It's worth it. I enjoyed it. It has some really good gory scenes, and that's what really got me. Like, that really took it up a notch. Next movie we have is Roadhouse. This is starring Jake Gyllenhaal. I think it's Gyllenhaal and not Gyllenhaal. Anywho, he's a baddie. Love him. Look, I know that movie is a remake from, the old one. For the life of me, the guy who starred in the original Roadhouse, I cannot think of his freaking name, and it's so funny because the first name that comes to my mind that it just literally just popped in my head, and I know for a fact he's not this man. He has never played in that movie, but I don't know why I thought of Kevin Costner. I love Kevin Costner, by the way. Oh my god, really quick, Kevin Costner in Waterworld? That's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 10. In my book, that's a 10. Okay, we got off track, but Jake Gyllenhaal in Roadhouse. I didn't like the pacing. I did not like the pacing. I liked parts of the plot. I did not like the romantic interest. I did not like the ending. Love the action. I love the action. I'm not mad at the casting either. It was okay. The casting was cool. It was whatever. But because of all those things that I did not like, I'm gonna have to say that movie probably a 6, even, maybe even less. Like, I feel like I'm being generous saying 6, especially if you've seen the original Roadhouse. Ooh, you probably give it. You probably say I was being generous giving that movie a 6. But hey, now this is going to be a shocker. But Deadpool 2, that is the next movie. Duh, I fucking know that already. Yes, I know when it came out. Can I live? Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, Deadpool 2. That movie. Hey, it's 4:44. I would give it a solid 8. Not a 10. Nowhere near a 9. But I don't think a 7 does it justice. Because when you have a casting for the main character that's that perfect, like, he's so perfect for that role that I can't even take away from the film. Like, he was good. He's good. That's just him. For better or for worse, that is just him. No shade. Alright, the next movie, Equalizer 3. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Equalizer 3 came out last year, 2023. I've watched both 1 and 2. So it was only right for me to conclude the trilogy with watching number 3. But I wanted to wait, and so wait I did. So yeah, I watched it this year. Let me think for a second, because I watched it earlier this year, but I did watch it this year. The beginning, it started off, I was like, I thought it was going to be one of those movies where it started off at the end and then we worked our way through the film to how we got to this ending. And so as I was watching it progress, I was like, oh, so if it started off that heavy, I'm thinking, oh, the pacing, you know, is not gonna be a problem. And it wasn't a problem. The action was good. I think it was a great way to conclude the trilogy. Yeah, I would give that movie an 8.3. Number 24 is Leave the World Behind. So, if you didn't know, that movie was based off a book. Yeah, side note, read your books, okay? You need to read. Reading is fundamental. And the thing about reading is there's something for everybody. I'm not playing around. There's something for everybody. Like, oh my gosh, reading is so important, guys. But that's a whole nother conversation. Leave the World Behind was a good film, and it was part 1. So there should be another installation of that film coming out preferably sooner rather than later. I like the cast. Oh, I love Julia Roberts. It was so good to see her. Ethan Hawke. It was good to see him in that type of role. I think that was more or less kind of new to me, seeing him in a role like that. I love that movie. Hopefully, if they do a second installation, which I'm sure they will, hopefully that second part will live up to the first, because it was a good movie. Oh my gosh, it was a good movie. I would definitely recommend it. And then it has, like, if you ask me, it has a good replay value. Final rating for that movie. The soundtrack was good too. I like the soundtrack because it had some bops on it, some of my favorite oldies. All in all, I would give that movie 8.5. I hope the second one lives up to the hype. It was good to me. The final movie is Rebel Moon Part 1. Love that movie. The rating for Rebel Moon Part 1, I would give it a 7. I took points off because I didn't like how the side characters, how their stories were concluded. The honorable mention for the conclusion of this video is Watchers, starring Dakota Fanning. When I say they did their due diligence, they could have ended that movie earlier than they did. So my final rating for that movie, when I consider the characters, the plot, the pacing, the graphics, that movie, wow, even the lore, that movie for me is going to be 8.9. Yes. Believe it or not. If you don't agree with this rating, then, that's you. I'm not told about it. This is my opinion based off things that I like and things, that I can appreciate. Now, regardless of rating, I'm going to give y'all my top 5 and conclude this video with that. So my top 5 in specific order. My top 5: Oddity, Spaceman, Longlegs, Hitman, and lastly, I am going to say Alone. Yeah, these are some good movies. So I just want to say this too in conclusion. Whether the film got a high rating or not, in my personal opinion, I always want to encourage anybody watching and listening to go get your own opinion. So in doing so, I'm encouraging you to watch these movies. These are good movies. And even if you watch them and you feel like they're not good movies, that's okay too. Like, your opinion matters. I'm just giving mine. And yeah, I think this was a great way to do the day 2 of Posted for 30 Days. I really enjoyed this. It was I feel like it was a good way for me to get my opinions out into the world. I try not to be too harsh with the ratings and the critiques. Like I said, I just like watching movies casually, so I'm not that well versed with like all the aspects that like real critics consider. But nonetheless, I would recommend all these films to you guys to watch and enjoy, especially the horror films. And hopefully I can give you guys an updated list at a later date, when they drop some new movies. There's plenty of movies this year that I have not watched purposely, and so yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and provide those movies that weren't included, and then also ones that haven't been watched yet for a future video. But that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and peace.